Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyana. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Ritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva Manusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavatveshinim. O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Arjuna. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters, O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the 10th adhyaya of the Vibhuti Yoga, Yoga of divine manifestations, and Sri Krishna is quite elaborately telling us which are all those things in this creation which are divine manifestations, which are all the things, and right from the gods, goddesses, and the animal kingdom, plant kingdom, even among the human beings, the sages, among the godly sages, he has given a long list of representatives, the best among all these categories, as being the divine manifestations. And in fact, the last shlok that we read, the 34th shlok that we read, he gave that list of beautiful feminine qualities which are possessed by the ladies, and thereby bringing, he has put, these feminine qualities on a different pedestal at all, on a very high level of, good things which are also the manifestations of the Lord, these 7 feminine qualities. He told, first of all, Mrityuhu sarva harashchaham udbhavascha bhavishatam. In the 34th shloka, he told us, I am verily the death. I am the destruction. I am the end phase. And also, I am the prosperity of those who are going to be prosperous in the future. I am also the future of all those things which are going to happen in the future. I am going to be the origin of all those things. Having said that, then Sri Krishna says, Mrityu sarva harashchaham udbhavascha bhavishyatam kirtihi sri vakcha narinam smrutir medha dhruti kshama. These feminine qualities, kirtihi, the fame, and shri, the prosperity, the good fortune, vak, the speech, narinam smruti medha dhruti kshama. Smruti is memory. Smruti again is a feminine quality. Ladies, they are so good at memory, because Sri Krishna says they are all one-pointed for that matter. Their devotion, their love is all one-pointed, and therefore they have got this wonderful quality of smruti. Then medha. Medha is that intuitive intelligence. Gut feeling, they have got such a strong gut feeling, strong intuition. Then, dhrutihi, steadfast. Once a lady decides to do something, that's it, come what may, that thing has to be done. Dhrutihi, that firmness, that steadfastness, no wavering of the mind then, once it is decided. And kshama, forbearance. Who else but a motherly tendency of woman can bear that wonderful quality of forgiveness, of forbearance. So Sri Krishna says, now he is also giving a representation among the attitudes and overall happenings, the birth, the death, and the future birth, the future prosperity, and also these qualities, feminine qualities, which are represented, which are present in the human beings, which are mainly among the females, but also these are also present in the males. It is not that the males are not possessing these qualities. They also have, but under the category, these are considered to be nārināṁ, the feminine qualities. So that was 34th shloka that Sri Krishna told us about. Some more list of the things in this creation which are divine manifestations, which are the manifestations of the Lord. Lord is appearing in all these things, in different forms, in different attitudes, in different things happening in this creation. Now the 35th shloka that we are going to read today. Bṛihat-sāma tathā sāmnāṁ gāyatrī chhandasām aham māsānāṁ Margashirsho ṛitūnāṁ kusumākaraḥ. Now what are the other things in this creation which are being represented by the Lord? Which are the things where Lord manifests, where Lord dwells? Bṛihat-sāma tathā sāmnāṁ. Bṛihat-sāma is the part of those Samaveda hymns. Now as it is, Sri Krishna has said, among the Vedas I am Sama. Now Sri Krishna says, even among Sama, I am even among the Sama hymns, I am the Bṛihat-sāma. Now this Bṛihat-sāma is supposed to be most melodious portion of the Sama. Samaveda itself is melodious, but among that Sama hymns, Brihat-Saman, and therefore Sri Krishna says, whichever is the best in anything, Sri Krishna says, that is the manifestation of me. Then Brihat-Sāma tathā sāmnāṁ gāyatrī chhandasām aham. Among the meters, now in grammar there are several meters for that matter, and Gayatri is one of such chanda, that meter. Among all the meters, among all the chanda, Sri Krishna says, Gayatri is the supreme most. And since Gayatri is the supreme most chanda, I am dwelling in that Gayatri. And then he says, māsānāṁ Margashirsha. Among the months, I am the Margashirsha month. Chaitra, Vaishakh, Jyeshta, Ashad, all those 12 Indian months that we have. Krishna says, I am Margashirsha. Why? He has already told us that the Lord dwells during the time frame when the summer solstice starts. That is the period somewhere around Uttarayan, when during the time of the Makar Sankranta. And Margashirsha as a month, it coincides with the same time frame, with the same calendar month for that matter. So Sri Krishna again gives a very strong prominence to this month of December, January, kind of a winterish month, and everywhere there is nothing but beauty, 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 and the Devayan is going to start. Uttarayan is going to start. The gods are waking up from their 6-monthly slumber sleep, and it is going to be the phase of activity. Therefore, Sri Krishna says, māsānāṁ Margashirsho and ṛitūnāṁ, among the seasons, kusumākaraḥ. Which other season can be compared with any other season? The season in which the flowers bloom. That beautiful spring where all the vegetation, it comes in its full bloom. That kusumākaraḥ. Kusuma is flower. So the flowering spring, I am that season among all the seasons. That we have different in the Indian terminology, like we have Vasanta Ritu, Shishira Ritu. So this spring as such, the kusumākaraḥ, that is considered to be the manifestation of the divinity, wherein we start blooming of the new flowers, the new creation as such. The new things, those beautiful flowers and fragrances, they start blooming in this creation. So Sri Krishna says, among the seasons, I am that season in which the flowers start blooming. Of the Sama hymns, I am the Brihat-Sāma. Of the meters, I am Gayatri. Of the chandas, I am Gayatri. Of months, I am Margashirsha. And of seasons, I am the flowery spring. Now, regarding the Sama hymns that he is talking about, the Brihat-Sāma, music is one of the means to approach God, and Samaveda is filled with these musical notes. Entire Samaveda is based upon the musical intonation, and within that, the Brihat-Sāma portion of the Sama hymns, that is most melodious. Among the Vedas, the Sama abounds with hymns set to music. Both Shiva and Narayana are said to be fond of Sama hymns. As it is, the Shiva and Vishnu, they are the proponents of all these artistic qualities, the music, the dance. So both of them, they are very fond of Sama hymns. Ravana, the demon, pleased Shiva by singing the Samaveda. Ravana was a great worshipper of Lord Shiva, and how he sang the Shiva's glories through the Sama hymns, and that's how he got the boon from Shiva also. In this Veda, again, that portion known as Brihat-Sāma is the best. It is the most melodious portion of Samaveda. The combination of music and sublime matter have made it so. So it is not just any song which is put to music. The sublime matter, the great spiritual truths, the great spiritual insights put to music. Now imagine music as it is so wonderful to our ears. It is so soothing, so pleasing, so calming. It has a wonderful calming effect. Now if the spiritual truths are tuned to these musical tunes, how great those spiritual truths would feel to our ears when listened in terms of those musical intonations. And the Brihat-Sāma is filled with that. Therefore, Sri Krishna says, among the Sama hymns, I am the Brihat-Sāma. Now, meter, chanda, is a characteristic of poetry. The Vedas contain various types of meters. There are various chanda in the Vedas. The entire Vedas are composed of various different type of chanda. Now, these chandas, they are poetical compositions depending upon the number of lines that are in that stanza, in that verse, and say several other factors. So accordingly, there are in Sanskrit there are about 7 chanda. These are Gayatri, Ushnihi, Anuštubha chanda, then Brihati chanda, Pankti chanda, Trishtubha chanda, and among these chandas, now every chanda has got its own peculiarity. But the Gayatri chanda, which is composed of 24 syllables in a verse. 24 syllables, 3 verses of 8 syllables each. That is the type of construction of this Gayatri chanda. Now this is considered to be most poetic, most melodious to recite to, and therefore Sri Krishna says, among the chandas, I am the Gayatri. Now in Rigveda, I came across that there is one verse which also tells this greatness about the Gayatri chanda. The Shloka, the meter, it goes like Gayatrena pratimimite arkamarkena sama trishtubhena vakam vakena vakam dvipada chatushpadaksharena mimate saptavani. It says, with the Gayatri, he measures a song, with the song a chant, with the Trishtubha, another chanda, a recited stanza, with the stanza of 2 feet and 4 feet, the Dvipada and Chatushpada of 2 feet and 4 feet forms a hymn, and with the syllable they measure the 7 voices. Aksharena mimate saptavani. So that is the greatness of the Gayatri Chanda, which even has been mentioned in the Rigveda. So among the Chandas, Sri Krishna says that adoration to the several deities comes in the form of their respective Gayatri. Every deity has its own Gayatri, like the Gayatri mantra itself. Every deity has its own Gayatri as a mantra, as a chanting. The Devi Gayatri, Rudra Gayatri, Brahma Gayatri, Paramahansa Gayatri and several other Gayatris may be found in the Vedas. So that is the greatness of this Gayatri Chanda. There is a special merit in the month of Margashirsha. Now Sri Krishna said, māsānāṁ Margashirsha. So Margashirsha has got a very special significance in the Hindu culture. The time before sunrise is called the Brahma Muhurtam, the most favorable time for spiritual practices. It coincides somewhere around 5:30 early morning. Just before the sunrise is the Brahma Muhurtam. An earthly year is a day for devas. Now, like we have this Brahma Muhurta in our day-to-day life, our time cycle, it goes by sunrise to sunset. Similarly, the Lords also, they also have the sunrise, they also have the sunset kind of. They are also their year starts, their day starts, and like Sri Krishna has said that the one day of Brahman is that 4.32 billion years when compared to the human time cycle, the earth time cycle. So that 4.32 billion years forms the day of Brahman, the day of gods, and another 4.32 billion years becomes the night. So this 4.32 plus 4.32, 8.64 billion years comprises one day, 24 hours for that matter, of the gods. Now, like our Brahma Muhurta starts just before the sunrise, even gods, they also have their kind of Brahma Muhurta when their day starts. So Sri Krishna says that earthly year of the gods, it coincides with the month of Margashirsha, Uttarayan, when we say that gods are waking up. Now this is on the annual front, not about the 4.32 billion years they are waking up and all that. That waking up and going to sleep is for the creation to come forth and for creation to get dissolved in the Brahman. But for the gods, ordinary matter of the day is the Uttarayan, the month of Margashirsha. 14th January, normally we celebrate this Makar Sankranti, which is considered to be the start of summer solstice, the half 6 months of the God's day it starts. Margashirsha is the month in December, January in which the Brahma Muhurtam is contained. The Brahma Muhurtam for the gods, not for human beings. For human beings we have Brahma Muhurtam every day. But for gods it comes once in 6 months, and that phase coincides with the month of December, January, with the month of the festival of Makara Sankranti. The worship of God done in this month has a salutary effect on the mind, and therefore Sri Krishna says that as the gods are waking up from their sleep, Margashirsha month is best to offer our respects to, the best to offer our worships to the gods as the gods are waking up. The Lord therefore extols this month as a special attribute of His. So among the 12 months, among the 12 Indian months, Lord says, I am represented by the month Margashirsha. And coming to talk about the vegetable kingdom now, ṛitūnāṁ kusumākaraḥ, that the month in which the flowers bloom, that season, the season in which the flowers bloom, I am that season. The life of vegetable kingdom and that of the others too to some extent get suspended in the snowy winter, but in the spring they get reanimated. They get revegetated, for that matter. Men and beings beam with fresh life and activities. And therefore the Lord describes himself as the Vasanta among the Ritus. I am the kusumākaraḥ. I am the Vasanta. And therefore we also celebrate the Vasanta Panchami, the great festival of showing love and affection. The Vasanta Panchami. That Vasanta Panchami, that Vasanta as a Ritu, that Vasanta as the season among seasons, Sri Krishna says, that is the flowery season is my manifestation. So here again he talked about the Brihat-Sāma, the Gayatri Chanda, Margashirsha as the month, and kusumākaraḥ, the Vasanta Ritu as the season, as the 4 divine manifestations. So that is the 35th shloka of the Vibhuti Yoga, as it is the yoga of the divine manifestations that Sri Krishna has been explaining to us, which are all the things in this creation that are represented, that are the actual representations of the great Lord. So that was 35th shloka of the Vibhuti Yoga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swami Ji.